This is the chainsaw or pruner attachment which I got for my Stihl-Kombi engine. It was my first purchase of the 2018 season. At the very start of January we had a lot of rough weather and I had a lot of branches came down at some of the jobs I was on. So I decided to buy myself the pruner. It's been something on my list for a heck of a long time, and in this video I'm going to show you it a bit in action. And I'm also going to be asking for some of your guys' tips and some of the things that you could maybe help me out a bit with it. So after the Christmas period we had a lot of rough weather, and this is what I came back to in January. A lot of jobs like this where trees had gone over or big branches had come out of the trees. In years gone by I would have tackled a tree like this with hand saws or a saw on the end of a pole like the Wolf Garden poles, that type of thing, and just saw my way through it piece by piece. Because there were so many trees like this come down throughout January, decided, right, it's time to get myself the pruner. It seemed the perfect time for it, and ever since getting it, I really should have got myself one years ago. Made everything so much easier. Absolutely love using it. Just makes cutting through small branches, big branches, an absolute breeze. So I'm now going to go through a few bits and pieces which I've found with the pruner, just for using it for the last sort of couple of months. The first thing that really caught me out with the pruner was the amount of oil that the lubricating oil that you go through. So I filled it up on the very first time of using it and thought, here we go, that'll be fine, that'll last me a fair while, and went through chopping branches and absolutely loving it. And then all of a sudden I realised that the chamber was empty and I'd gone through all that oil extremely quickly. That was just something that, because I'm not used to using a tool like this, just totally threw me. Now if you've watched my videos before, you know I'm pretty much always wearing face protection when I do any sort of hedge cutting or strim or anything like that. With this tool you will always see me wearing face protection. It spits out sawdust and bits and pieces constantly. It's not like the hedge cutter. With this tool it is constantly chucking bits and pieces out, which I will never use it without the face protection. I haven't bought myself a sort of chainsaw helmet with this yet. Everything I've been cutting with this so far has been ground level, so nothing is sort of, I'm not in any danger of anything sort of falling on my head. But I'm sure there will come a time when I have to prune branches that are high up out of the trees, and as soon as I have to do that sort of thing, then I will be getting myself a helmet to go with it. So one of the first questions I want to ask anybody out there that is used to using tools like this, either this or a chainsaw, how often do you guys sharpen your blades? Because I've not owned something like this before, I'm not quite sure how quickly they dull. Someone has told me before that it all depends on obviously the wood you're cutting, that sort of thing. But just as a rough sort of guess, you know, how often would you guys be getting the blades sharpened? Now next question, how tight do you guys have your blades? As you can see here, just pull it out a little bit. Is that too tight? Is that too loose? Guys, let me know in the comments below. And one final thing I'd like to ask you guys out there, and I do thank you if you do comment below. I'm not a total dumb when it comes to these type of things. It's just because there are a lot of guys out there that watch these videos and know what they're doing. You know, I may as well ask. The last tip I want to ask is any tips of how to keep it all clean. It all gets very gunked up by tree bits and pieces and tree sap and that sort of thing very fast. If you've got any tips out there to try and keep this sort of thing clean, guys, that'd be great. So there you have it, the Stihl Pruner attachment for the Kombi. Absolutely brilliant tool, and it is definitely something you guys are going to be seeing a lot more of in the future. Guys, take care, be good, and I will see you next time.